Top 10 Animal Testing Essay Topics. Ethical issues of animal testing. The controversy surrounding animal testing has been going on for decades. Animal rights activists claim that animals are being used in research without choice. They are subjected to tests that are often painful or result in permanent damage or death. In your paper, you could delve into these dilemmas and discuss the trade-offs between scientific progress and the well-being of animals. Is animal testing effective? Proponents of animal testing argue that it is a way of advancing science and medicine without harming humans. But it's not. In addition to ethical concerns, there are also questions about the effectiveness of animal testing. Animals do not always react to interventions in the same way as humans. Inaccurate experimental results can lead to clinical trials of harmful substances, thereby exposing patients to unnecessary risk. We invite you to discuss the effectiveness of animal testing. Alternatives to animal testing. Animal testing has several disadvantages related to its ethics and effectiveness. Scientists have been working on developing alternative testing methods for a long time and have made great strides. Some alternatives to animal testing include in vitro cell and tissue testing, stem cell research, 3D tissue culture, mathematical models, etc. Can these alternative testing methods replace or reduce animal experimentation? That's an exciting question to explore. Animal testing in medical research, pros and cons. Modern medicine would be very different without animal testing. It has led to the development of drugs for breast cancer, diabetes, brain injury, leukemia, cystic fibrosis, malaria, hepatitis B, and so on. At the same time, skeptics argue that animal testing is often ineffective, bringing more harm than good. In your paper, you can discuss the contributions of animal testing to medical breakthroughs and explore its limitations in accurately predicting human responses. Animal testing and cosmetic industry. Cosmetic animal testing is often harmful to animal subjects. At the same time, it is less justified than trials of essential medicines. That's why it is opposed by animal rights activists and prohibited in many parts of the world, such as the EU. In your paper, you could look at the ethical implications of using animals in cosmetic tests, discuss the importance of rules and regulations, and the move towards cruelty-free alternatives. Public opinion and animal testing policies. In a democratic state, public opinion influences essential issues of public policy. Animal testing is one of the most controversial and hotly debated topics. According to research, 60% of Americans believe it is justified in testing vital medicines. However, less than 10% consider it appropriate in the cosmetics industry. We invite you to look at the impact of public attitudes and advocacy on the regulation and practice of animal testing worldwide. Medical research on animals, should it be banned? Many pharmaceutical firms, laboratories, medical schools, and research centers breed animals of different species within their premises for experimentation purposes. Sometimes the animals are captured from the wild and tested in laboratories or customized environments. Animal testing is now used in biomedicine, psychiatry, and genetics. The opponents of animal testing argue that most results cannot be extrapolated to humans. In your paper, you can analyze their claims in detail. The issue of animal rights. Many countries are concerned about the rights of animals and have therefore come up with legislation that aims at protecting them. For instance, the United Arab Emirates has a federal law governing animal abuse and negligence. It stipulates, among other provisions, that the law will punish any mistreatment of animals, such as using them for scientific experiments. In your paper, you can argue that humans and animals have rights that must be respected. The debate on animal testing. Progress in the biomedical sciences resulted in increased animal testing in the 20th century. However, its rates decreased in the 1980s with the rise in the animal rights movement. In your paper, you can focus on the debate around the issue. You could start by defining animal testing within a historical context. Then you could concentrate on the arguments supporting and disapproving of animal testing as part of the debate on animal rights and, most importantly, alternatives to animal testing. Genetic modification and animal rights. Genetic modification implies changing the genetic material of an organism in a way that does not occur naturally. Genetic modification of mammals and fish is an emerging field since such manipulations are much more complex than transforming plants and bacteria. Animal husbandry is modified to improve indicators such as growth rate, meat quality, disease resistance, etc. The opponents of genetic modification argue that it violates their rights. What is your opinion about the topic?